Welcome in. Thanks for stopping by again on such short notice. We are back with another big, beautiful edition of IDP. Today's Doucheisode features new shoegaze, new dream pop, indie rock, etc. I'm currently traveling, so we are probably in less than ideal, conditions as far as the lighting and sound. So, the usual amateur hour stuff that you come to expect from this channel. If you're feeling like nibbling on a snack, I did pick up some nut sacks if you wanna grab some, or maybe I should probably say sacks of nuts. You can, feel free to help yourself. Unfortunately, I was not able to make any tacos for today. All right, let's go ahead and get started. The New York City shoegaze / noise pop band called Hotline TNT have returned with album number 3. It's titled Raspberry Moon, and it is out on Third Man Records, which I believe is the record label co-owned by the original guitarist of the Detroit band called The Go. So I believe the previous 2 Hotline TNT albums were recorded, I believe, just basically by frontman Will Anderson on his own. So this is the first Hotline TNT album recorded as a full band with a real drummer as opposed to drum machines like they were doing before. This album picks up basically right where the 2023 album Cartwheel left off, perhaps embracing shoegaze even more so here. There's once again a lot of 1990s alternative guitar rock influences. It's like 90s style power pop with that heavy distorted guitar wash up front in the mix. I'd say melodic shoegaze / alt rock. The album does have some diversions, including, I would say, like the second track, which is basically like a synthy, it's basically like a synthy instrumental transition from the first track. The transitions flows into the third track. It also has some more ballady or lighter cuts on it as well, but it's still primarily a fuzzed out guitar forward shoegaze pop affair. Many nods to 1990s artists. The last track on the album is even titled Where You Been. I feel like this one is definitely a crowd pleaser. I know a lot of folks that really dug that last LP called Cartwheel, and I think even more folks will like this one. I kind of think I still prefer Cartwheel to this one. Maybe it's just early, but I do like it, and I think it has some really high highs. Anyway, once again, that is the band Hotline TNT. For some reason, whenever I'm thinking Hotline TNT in my head, I always want to say Hotwire TNT. The whole time when I was speaking here, even just now, I'm thinking Hotwire. Anyway, Hotline TNT is the name of the band, and their latest release is titled Raspberry Moon.
We got so close to it, trying to hide all the signs. You like it more than you admit. Na 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 na, get butterflies.
I'm definitely a little rough around the edges, and I feel like maybe a beer couldn't hurt. So today we're having a Thai beer done in a German style. It's called Federbräu. I think here in Thailand they say Federbräu or something like that. They say it differently, but that's what we're having. It's a single malt German Helles. I looked it up. It's targeted towards a young, sophisticated audience aged 22 to 35. So not really the target audience, but I have had it before, but not very often. Yeah, it's not a bad afternoon beer if you want to help yourself. All right, the Singapore indie rock band Subsonic are back with their 5th LP. It's titled Singapore Dreaming and it is out on Topshelf Records. So we have talked about Subsonic here, I think a couple times before. I'm certainly a fan of theirs. This is jangly dream pop, really like super catchy songs. Can hear influences like the Canadian band Always, maybe a little bit of Tanya Donley's band Belly, as well as a lot of other, once again, 90s shoegaze and alt-rock guitar bands. It's got buzzy, chiming, jangly, distorted guitars. It's lo-fi-ish, lots of hooks, smart. It's melancholy without sounding like a drag. The album title, Singapore Dreaming, apparently comes from a 2006 film of the same name, and many of the themes on the album are related to Singapore and the future of Singapore. Once again, that is the band Subsonic from Singapore, and their latest album is titled Singapore Dreaming. Next we have the debut full-length album from the San Francisco musician named Ryan Lescure. And he's in this case using the artist name Devoted Fans. And the album is titled Hyper Dévotion. Ryan Lescure, I'm probably saying his name wrong, but I'll put it up here. Ryan Lescure is also the man behind the shoegaze pop band called Lavender Blush, who we have talked about here, both of their full-length albums in the past. He's also in bands Moonbeams and My Red Dress, and he was also previously in the psychedelic rock band called LSD and the Search for God. Yeah, so compared to Lavender Blush, this is a much more lo-fi, less dense sound. The guitars are still distorted and noisy. They kind of have like a sharp distortion. I don't know how to explain it, like a prickly, distorted guitar sound. So they're still noisy, but the vocals are more upfront. I have seen this referred to as tweegaze, which I am not sure what that means, but it's seemingly a more fey, I would say, vocal style up front with distorted, fuzzy, gazy guitars, possibly like if Morrissey was the lead vocalist of a lo-fi shoegaze pop band. I think the lo-fi self-recorded aesthetic probably will turn some folks off. I think others won't like the vocal style. But even though I think that I prefer the fuller sound of his band Lavender Blush, I still find myself enjoying this quite a bit. That is the band Devoted Fans, or the artist Devoted Fans, and the debut album is titled Hyper Dévotion.
Watching couples kiss and laugh. Dominique loved. Oh, Dominique loved. I want to be a being more aligned with Earth. I want to be a
Next up, we have the latest album from a San Francisco-based quartet. They call themselves Cronkite, and the name of the album is So Far, So Good. This one is a fun, melodic indie rock slash post-punk sound with brash, spirited vocals, has sanguine, chiming guitars, has a sense of humor. Definitely influenced by a variety of like early aughts and 1990s indie guitar rock bands. I think they even cite bands like Pavement or Guided by Voices as influences on them, and I could definitely hear the Pavement a bit, like not the vocals sound different, but that kind of style kind of gets you in the neighborhood. The album is pretty short and sweet at 7 tracks, clocking in at about 25 minutes. It does not outstay its welcome. It's kind of an easy one to dip your toes into. I've listened to it probably a handful of times already over the last couple weeks. Once again, that is the album So Far, So Good from the San Francisco band Cronkite.
No time to kill.